Who she did?
It's like these just manufactured handprints or fingerprints. I don't understand.
What's that?
I've only been wearing glasses for like a year, and it's like they just manufacture fingerprints.
I know
They'll
the
be
feeling.
none on them. They'll be away. They come back. It's like,
What happened?
who's in my pocket touching these?
What happened?
I don't understand. I'll never understand.
Was it warm in here, guys?
It's just you. I think.
Me. Well, that's good to know. I'm getting ready for Santa soon and being hot in the suit.
Volumes off.
Might as well just suffer.
Good training.
Yeah. Might as well just suffer. Everything's well. I'm just saying, like that's surreal. It's surreal, man. It's still. Should be happening. Seems like it should not be happening. We'll start on November the 1st.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for coming and joining us this evening. We're going to get started on our work session around the redistricting. Hopefully, you've had an opportunity to see some of the maps and everything. I want to open up first and just, if you don't know why we're here, obviously there was a census that was done recently, and due to population shifts or growths or decreases in certain parts of the area, it's our job to basically make sure the lines of our 5 districts don't really have more than a 5% variance either way on the population. So keyword population. We are here tonight to talk about the amount of people that live in the districts. Nothing more than that is for consideration this evening. We'll go ahead and get started up here momentarily. We'll go ahead and do a first round of deliberation between me and my peers. We'll go for a round of 4 minutes, first round. We'll be more than happy to circle back around for another round of 2. What I would be interested in hearing from my peers is basically any maps in particular that they're leaning towards. The goal tonight would be to basically bring this from 5 maps down to hopefully 1. 1 would be great, but I understand if we walk away with 2. All right, we will then have, at another time, we will have it'll be an agenda item. There will be a public hearing on this. So there'll be another opportunity to speak. But after we've had our opportunities to kind of discuss amongst ourselves, we will be hearing comments from the audience. I will cap it to 2 minutes, just like I would for a normal council meeting. I know I'm forgetting something, but we'll just go ahead and cross that bridge when we come to it. That being said, we will go ahead and take roll call just for the record. Councilman London?
Present.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
Here.
Councilman Box? Here. Councilman Sims?
Here.
And myself present as well. So that being said, Councilman London, if you would like to start us off, sir, with your thoughts.
Yes, I will. First of all, I want to say thank y'all for coming. I received a lot of emails. I thank you for those also. My emails that I received today and this week and since it's been happening. But what I would suggest, suggest to the council, so we won't be here, first of all night long and hold our citizen hostage, that we'll go down to each map right now and decide which one we don't want to talk about.
I can live with
And then
that.
narrow it down to 1 or 2, the one that we want to talk about and see move forward. I think that would cost us not spending time on every map, that we could narrow down to 2 or 3 right now and move forward.
I'll take it either way. If there's one you're feeling passionate about, if there's one you're not feeling passionate about.
Well, I like 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah. Just looking over, I look to it. My mind could change nights over, but 2 and 3.
Okay. Any particular reason? Anything you want to share while you have some time?
No particular reason.
Okay. Fair enough. Councilwoman Cuellar.
Thank you, Council President Spivey. What I did when I looked at the maps is I looked at our existing condition map, and I noticed that districts 1 and 2 had significantly larger populations compared to districts 3, 4, and 5. And I remembered what Mr. Isom told us, that the deviation for each district is 2,699. So that's the goal, is to reach that number, 2,699. And as you noted, and we want, if we can't do that, then we need to have a variance of plus or minus 5%. So the goal is to create a map that minimizes disruption to all 5 districts. So that's the lens that I came from. Which one of these maps is going to minimize disruption to all 5 of our districts? And as I looked at it, I looked at existing, I looked at each map, even had a plastic sheet protector, large one, put it over the existing, drew a line on existing, outlined it, then put it over each map. And after that, option 2 offered the least disturbance and only required minimal changes, very, very small minimal changes. And I have noted some of those. Just two streets is all it was. And it was basically a street area in District 1, taking that, putting it in District 5, if it's doable, and I don't know if it is, and then taking one area that is not contiguous at all, and taking that from my district, which is about 29 people, and giving that to District 4 to bump those numbers up. And when I did that, it actually, in my view, the deviation for District 1 went from 48 to a very small number, minus 22. District 5 went from a minus 123 to a minus 53. And District 3 and 4, 3 went from 109 to 80. And 4 went from minus 114 to minus 85. So the percentage on the deviation, it even improved that. And that's the lens that I came from when I looked at them. Which one is the one that is going to which one has the least disturbance to all 5 districts? And that's the one that, when I looked at it, that one did it.
So 2 is the one that you're
Yes.
recommending. Mm-hmm. Copy that.
And I have copies if you want to take a look at the streets that I'm noting, and I'll give you the copies of it.
So you're saying you're advocating 2 with a couple of revisions.
Just a few changes is all it is.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say in your time left?
That's all I have to say right now.
Copy.
Yes,
Pass them down.
yes.
All right. Councilman Box.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you all you guys for attending tonight. I think this is an awesome thing for us to work together on, be a team on. Remember that we're all citizens of one city, and we're all citizens of another kingdom. Whether we know who we are in that kingdom or not, we're citizens of the kingdom of the Most High. So therefore, we can put aside any other things except trying to unify as what's been presented to us under numbers. So with that said, Council President, I have received several emails, 222, 3, 4, 222. Most of what I'm hearing from constituents, not just in District 4, but other districts, is option 2 with a few 3s. But I'd like to hear from the citizens tonight, so I'm glad we're actually going to allow them to speak. And with that said, I'll pass on back to you.
Okay. Fair enough. Councilman Sims.
Apologies, my pen just exploded all over me as I was writing down the 2699 from Councilor Cuellar there because I couldn't remember the number. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Suddenly I had black ink everywhere. So I'm just, your comment about moving a couple streets. District 5, if you don't know, it's pretty much exactly the same in every option up there. There's not much that's been done. So nothing much. I mean, there's one option and it's the same on every map. So it's everything else that changes. So I don't really have a preference off the top of my head. I would be interested to figure out the exact streets on the list here. So I'm looking right now at that because I'm just curious what streets those are. And I'll just save that for when we come back around. I think I know I didn't like 4 and 5. No one's mentioned those yet, so it doesn't sound like anybody likes 4 and 5 unless you are liking those. Out of 1, 2, and 3, I think I was leaning towards 2 or 3, but that's where I'm at currently.
Okay, perfect. Anything else with your time, sir?
Not at this time.
Okay, perfect. Looking at District 2, 1, 2, and 3 doesn't have a tremendous amount of disruption. 3 a little bit. I would be good with 2. I like the way it consists and keeps up with some of the natural landmarks. Tried to think about that, and it just creates very, very minimal disruption. So I'm good with map 2 for those reasons. Don't really have much more to say about that. 2 would be where I would be leaning towards. Are we ready to come back around for a second round? Councilman London?
No, let's go.
Okay. Right on.
We're 2 years behind right now.
Okay. Anything that you would like to say on a follow-up
No,
comment?
just that I'm good with 2, and
Okay.
if they don't want to make, if the council, the body doesn't want to make the changes that I'm requesting, we make no changes at all, I'm good with it too. I was just trying to bring up the numbers just a little bit
Yeah.
so that we could minimize some of those deviations.
Right on. And that might be taken into factor. Obviously, legal is going to be looking through a couple of other lenses and stuff like that. So you never know, that might manifest. And you're more than welcome to give that suggestion to legal. Councilman Box, anything further before we turn it over to the
No,
citizens?
the only thing that would be good to know how difficult it would be to present any of the changes should legal look at it. So is that going to be difficult for you to work out? Okay, that's awesome.
I have a copy for Mr. Eisen if you'd like one also, sir.
So yeah, that until I'm good until we hear from the citizens.
Okay. Anything further from you, Councilman Sims?
One thing that I did forget to mention was, and I know we don't consider it because we're going off census data in 2020. We are 4 years down the road. We do know that stuff has been built and there are people in some locations. And I think we need to consider that fact just for future growth because, for instance, if we choose whichever option and the district that has like the Heights in it, for instance, that I don't believe is counted because it wasn't there in 2020 when the census happened. If it's already big and now they've got all those residents on top that aren't counted, then they're grossly out of proportion. And I just think that's something we need to make sure that we're, obviously we go off of these numbers, but we do know there's invisible numbers out there that we can think about also.
Okay. And I don't have any other further comments on that. So what we'll do
Council
is,
President Spivey?
yes,
can I
ma'am.
Respond to that. My understanding was that we had to look at our census data as it stands. We're not to look at future. That will be dealt with at the next census.
I would agree with Councilwoman Cuellar on that. That's a 2030 problem. But I appreciate your comments and I understand your logic on where you're going with that, Councilman Sims, and that's fairly diligent. All right. Once we hear from the audience here, we'll probably circle back and just see if there's any thoughts from the council that's kind of bounced off of what you guys have to say. So at this time, we'll go ahead and we'll take comments on. Are you tracking addresses and No? Okay, gotcha. So we'll go ahead and start accepting comments to the council on the redistricting. Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, you're good.
What information would y'all like?
Oh, so you got 2 minutes to talk to us about your thoughts, opinions.
My name's Sam Bryant.
Name, address.
We don't need the name and address. We're not recording it for the record.
Okay, because she asked.
Okay,
I
fair
live in
enough.
District 3.
Okay.
My wife and I live in District 3, and I want to applaud the common sense approach that you're looking at this with. The lens that you're looking at is accomplishing what we need to accomplish with the least amount of disruption. And in my lay view, when I looked at it, that also looked at like option 2, map 2. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, would you like to come up?
I would just like to ditto what he said. I think the common sense approach, the least amount of disruption is the best, and I like the map too. So I appreciate everything all the council people have said.
And what district do you reside in?
Council and District 3.
Okay. Any other comments on redistricting? Yes, sir.
Good evening, you know, I live in Grassville Valley. Three options split Grassville Valley into two council districts, options 1, 3, and 4. For that reason, I support option 2.
Any other comments on the redistricting?
Carter Diggs, I reside in District 3. It sounds like no one is considering 4 and 5, and I hope that's the case, because I would think that those proposals are illegal on their face, based on the populations that are put in those districts, and that you're packing certain populations into only 2 districts, which I think would be illegal. So I'm glad that you're not considering options 4 and 5, and I support option 2. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments on the redistricting?
I reside in District 4, and we have minimal disturbance with all of that. It's just like somebody took a dandelion that's it there. Mike, okay. So there isn't, you know, the District 4, it doesn't have a lot of changes in my area. Some of the options show more change than others, and I'm hoping that you all take something that, because, you know, we have different areas of the city, and different areas vote differently. You know, your council people get different feedback, partially just because of the citizens that they have. So I am for option 2. Option 2 seems like it is a good idea to don't just, not quite so much moving around of the districts, of the district lines.
Fair enough. Thank you. Come on up, please.
Ann Vafiatis, District 3, and I support this map number 2 as well after reviewing them.
Thank you.
Ditto.
In what district,
Which
sir?
district, sir?
What district, sir? Do you live in? You live in 3? Okay, copy that. Any other comments on the redistricting? Yes, sir.
I've gone over the maps that were provided. Option 2 seems to do the least harm.
And you live in District 3 as well, I believe, sir? Okay, I thought so. Okay. Any other comments on the redistricting? All right. I'm going to close it out to comments. Are there any more comments on redistricting? Fair enough. Councilman London, based on the feedback you received and the
Yeah, I do.
options you presented?
I do. District 1, first of all, let me give you a little history of how we came to 5 maps. Can I do that for you? So you won't be confused. It's not that we are not, we don't like 4 and 5. It's that we started out with 1, 2, and 3, but we had a couple of councils that didn't like 1, 2, and 3. So they went back, and that's why we got 4 and 5. You know, that's the only reason. I want to make sure that's clear, so you don't be saying, "Hey, it's our fault." And that's the only reason we don't like. I didn't like 4 and 5 from the get go. Let me just say that, because I like 1, 2, and 3 even from the start, and so I didn't think we needed extra maps. So that's where we are with that. So let's make sure that's out on the table, because I don't want y'all to saying anything that's different. District 1 has been the district that's grown the most since I've been on council. District 1, it has 4 subdivision and this brand new subdivision since I've been on council, and that's coming to District 1. No one's district has grown like mine. One subdivision, yours, brand new subdivision. Nobody's had a subdivision growth like in District 1. So I have the most people, if you look at the map, in District 1 because of the growth. And Councilman Quaylar proposed that I give up Gomar, Beacon Drive, Danton Lane to District 5. I live on Gomar. How can I give up Gomar when I live right next to that? I can't do that. That's where I live. So that's out the picture. So I'm good still with 3. I'm good with 3 personally. And I know a lot of folks said 2, but that was District 3 people saying 2, and I appreciate that. But my folks said 3, so that's what I like, is District 3. So
Okay.
me having Gomar, Beacon Drive, Danton Lane move to District 5, it's not feasible because I live there. I can't do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Quayle.
Two responses. First of all, I'm really at a loss on the fact that there were 3 maps. I have the old maps we were given. I have the new maps we were given. We were given 5 maps both times. So to say that we started out with 3, I received 5. Maybe Councilor London received 3. I don't know, but I know that I received 5 in this envelope, and I received 5 in this new envelope.
You did.
Let's keep the chatter to the minimum,
so-
guys. It's Cindy's time.
The other comment is, what I did was, and I don't know, because Gomar abuts other streets too, just as Beacon Drive does. What I did is this one little bitty area right here, not all of the streets. I took that little bitty area that abuts Beacon, Gomar, and Danton. That's
on
all
Danton.
I did. Not taking all of the streets, just one little area that's there. If you live in that one little area, Councilor London, then we can leave as is. It was just to bring his numbers up a little bit, Councilor Sips. That's all. So if you live there, doesn't need to change, just something to help him. That's the only reason.
Are you
But I'm
still,
not asking that we change all 3 different streets. It's one little area that's abutted by these streets. These streets also abut other streets. Okay? And if you looked at the online map, you could spot it very easily. And Mr. Eisen will be able to determine whether that's doable or not.
so you're still with
Yes,
2?
I'm
Okay.
still with 2.
Councilman Box?
So I'm getting a little lost in the weeds on it, so I just want to make sure now between what Councilman London's saying and what Councilwoman McQuillar is saying. On the District 2, as it stands, presented by Mr. Eisen, without Councilwoman McQuillar's changes, Councilor London, is that removing Goldmar from you on option 2, or just Councilwoman McQuillar's
That's
changes?
her changes. That's her changes. She's jumping all the way over and put him in Danton. I have all
Okay,
of
so
Danton right now. I
My
have all of
question
Danton right
is, on option 2, as it stands without changes, you would still be in District 1.
now. And option 3 also.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that was my only question. So without Councilwoman McQuillar's small amendments to District 2, it would not affect Councilman London's street of Goldmar.
So you're sticking with map 2.
I'm sticking with 2.
Copy. Councilman Sims, any follow-up questions based on what you've heard?
I don't think so, not at this time.
Okay. And I went with 2, just because that seemed to be kind of the way we were going. I am willing to walk away with a deliberation on 2 and 3. I'm good with that. So the goal was to single it down to 1 or 2 maps. It seems like pretty much the crowd is in agreement with at least 2. So I say we have one of our peers that is interested in taking a deeper look into 3. Maybe take a look at how your adjustments impact that. But I would be very interested in having a public meeting around 2 or 3 when this item comes up.
Well, what I did, Council President Spivey, is I looked at least disturbance, and when I look at option 3, that's a disturbance
I understand.
and not acceptable.
I understand. We are a body and we will figure this out. So with all comments heard from the audience, we've had our time up here. We've come away with, we've taken 5 maps and drowned it down to 2, which was the goal. So other than that, legal, I would ask you if there's anything that I've been remiss of covering or if there's anything else we need to do here tonight. Okay, copy that. Mayor, is there anything that you care to say? Okay, perfect. With that being said, I ask for a motion.
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 Second.
Second by Councilwoman McQuair. Are in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.